Ever feel like your spark has gone dim? That somewhere between the routines, the obligations, the deadlines, you misplaced your brilliance? You were born with genius, not the kind stamped by degrees or sealed by titles, but the kind that ignites revolutions, the kind that carved light bulbs out of darkness, that put men on the moon, that built empires from imagination alone. Napoleon Hill believed this. He saw it not as myth, but as method. This is not just another motivational echo. This is a blueprint, a calling, a deep dive into Hill's philosophy of creative awakening, a call to arms for the part of you that's still waiting to be set free. Napoleon Hill's legacy, a foundation for creativity. Before Silicon Valley, before TED Talks, before biohacking masterminds or modern coaching, there was a man with a notebook and an obsession. Napoleon Hill. He interviewed Edison. He walked with Henry Ford. He studied Carnegie, Rockefeller, and the titans of an industrial world that was built on raw, disruptive thought. And what did he find? Not just wealth strategies, not just productivity hacks, but something deeper, more primal, a shared trait among history's most accomplished. They all knew how to tap into their creative genius. Hill's book Think and Grow Rich wasn't about riches alone. It was about the currency of imagination, of vision, of will. He wrote about infinite intelligence, the idea that every human being, no matter where they start, holds access to something far greater than themselves. And today, as the world shifts faster than ever, Hill's principles are not old. They are urgent, because innovation isn't optional anymore. It's survival, and those who can unlock their inner genius will not just adapt, they will shape the future. Hill's path to unleashing inner genius, the mind, Hill taught, is the workshop of the soul. And if you want to create something extraordinary on the outside, you must first create something radical on the inside. It begins with mastery of thought. What dominates your internal dialogue? Doubt, fear, limitation? Then you've already surrendered the battle before it begins. Hill declared, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve." That's not poetic fluff. That's law. Your beliefs shape your reality. And creativity, true innovation, is stifled not by lack of talent, but by lack of belief. Every revolutionary, Tesla, Disney, Da Vinci, faced doubt from the world, from within, but they replaced it with faith. Faith in a vision only they could see. Faith in the unseen, the untested, the unproven. Hill taught us, self-confidence isn't a gift, it's a decision. It's cultivated brick by brick through repetition, visualization, and relentless focus. He said, "You are the master of your fate, the captain of your soul, but only if you claim the wheel." Practical strategies for creative breakthroughs. So how do we do it? How do we move from theory to transformation? Let's get tactical. He'll outline powerful steps, habits, not just to inspire, but to produce. 1. Harness the power of imagination. Imagination isn't child's play, it's creation's engine. Albert Einstein once said, "Imagination is more important than knowledge." Hill agreed. He taught two types of imagination. Synthetic imagination, when you combine existing ideas into new forms. Creative imagination, when ideas arrive from somewhere beyond, the subconscious, the infinite intelligence. When you sit in silence, journal your thoughts, close your eyes and visualize, you're not wasting time. You're tuning the frequency of genius. 2. Visualize with precision. Don't just dream. See it. Close your eyes and picture the finished invention. The bestseller, the business, the masterpiece. Feel it. Smell the ink on the contract. Hear the applause. Taste the success. When the subconscious believes, it conspires. Visualization isn't wishful thinking. It's creative rehearsal. It primes your brain to execute what it already believes is real. 3. Pursue relentless learning. Hill warned against mental stagnation. The geniuses he studied, Ford, Edison, Carnegie, they were never done learning. Innovation demands hunger. So read, listen, observe, ask, study biographies, deconstruct failures, and never assume you know enough. A closed mind is the death of genius. 4. Embrace failure as fuel. You will fall, you will misstep, and Hill would applaud it. He wrote, "Every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. Failure is feedback. It sharpens, it tests, it humbles." The greatest innovators in history, Elon Musk, Walt Disney, Thomas Edison, were all declared failures before they were called pioneers. What made the difference? They didn't stop. They saw failure not as a wall, but as a door. When you kick open with faith and try again. Real-world examples of Hill's methods. Let's look beyond theory. Let's watch this come alive. Thomas Edison, the man whose persistence lit the world. 10,000 failed experiments before inventing the light bulb. But as Edison said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Hill studied Edison, not just his genius, but his mindset. Edison expected breakthroughs because he believed in the unseen potential of his own mind. Walt Disney, fired for lacking creativity, bankrupted, laughed at, rejected by dozens of banks, but he visualized it. He imagined a world where imagination ruled, and he built it brick by animated brick. Disney lived Hill's law of persistence. He turned no into empire. Elon Musk, today's disruptor, ridiculed for rockets, mocked for electric cars, but Musk thinks in first principles. Another Hill philosophy: strip an idea down to its core truths, then rebuild from logic, not convention. Whether you love him or loathe him. Musk proves what happens when you dare to think differently and act relentlessly. From theory to action, empowering yourself for creative success. Now it's your turn. The blueprint is here, but blueprints don't build cathedrals. You must act. Start by defining your vision, not just what you want, but why you want it. A vague dream is a dead dream. Get crystal clear. Write it, read it, speak it, morning and night. Then, build a routine around your genius. Block time for silence and thought. Journal your ideas daily. Feed your mind relentlessly. Books, mentors, challenges. And most importantly, expect resistance. From others, from within. But push forward anyway. Hill's philosophy wasn't born in comfort. It was forged in fire. He faced rejection, poverty, ridicule. And yet, he chose faith. He chose vision over victimhood. You can too. Final ascent. The creative genius within. Here's the truth no one tells you. You are not here to copy. You are here to create. You are not a follower. You are a force. The world doesn't need another replica. It needs your original spark. Your voice, your vision, your ideas. You may not have millions. You may not have fame. But if you have imagination, if you have fire, if you have the courage to act, you have everything. Napoleon Hill didn't just write about success. He carved a path through the jungle of fear, self-doubt, and mediocrity. And now, the path is yours to walk. So rise. Unlock your creative genius. Because the world doesn't change through wishes. It changes through will.